Phase 4 has 4 parts to it. Before I get into those, I do want to mention that the way that I'm sitting with the guitar is different from what I've taught you to do in the class. The purpose for this video is so that you can better see what I'm doing down here with my right hand and then what I'm doing with my left hand here. So in Phase 4, we're going to cover what we call the E Phrygian scale. We're going to go over the Candy Crush 2.0 chords, and then Hey Ho Nobody's Home, and then we'll finish with the Itsy Bitsy Spider. So to play the E Phrygian mode, you need to use the low E string. It's the lowest sounding string on the guitar, and there's 3 notes that we're going to add. So you have low E, which is open, low F, which is 1st fret, and then low G, which is 3rd fret. And then from there, you're just going to play the A minor scale that we've already gone over. So let's do this from bottom to top, starting with low E. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, high A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. Should be pretty simple for you just to add those 3 bottom notes and then expand off of what you already know. Moving into the Candy Crush 2.0 chords. As you remember, when we first played these, we used our thumb with downstrokes and we just did these top 3 strings. So you had the G chord, then you had the G7, then you had the C, and then the D7 chord. In what I'm calling the Candy Crush 2.0 chords, we're going to use all 6 strings or 5 strings on the guitar. So, beginning with the G, I like to start with the one that feels the most awkward first. You're going to take your pinky finger and it's going to go on the high E string, 3rd fret. Complete opposite side of the guitar, you're going to do the ring finger on the 3rd fret on the low E string, so that's low G. So we got high G, low G. And then your middle finger is going to go on the A string, 2nd fret, so that's your B. It's a bit of a stretch, and one of the things I talk about in class is you need to make sure that your wrist is comfortable and relaxed when you play this. For some of you, you might need to drop the wrist a little bit like this. You all need to make sure that your knuckles are curved. You don't want to flat knuckle it like that. Make sure you got curvature to all 3 knuckles, so you're using the fingertips. Some may find it more comfortable if you push your hand closer to the neck. Positioning of the thumb, a little higher, a little lower. It just really depends from person to person, and it depends on how long your fingers are and how big your hand is. So find what's most comfortable for you to work. So this is the G chord. Now we're next going to move to the G7, and in the same way that we just went from the 3rd fret to the 1st fret when we did G to G7 with the first variation of Candy Crush chords, we're going to do the same thing here. So you've got your G chord, drop the pinky, put down the pointer finger, and then you get what's called G7. Now that your hands are in this position, I'm moving my pinky out of the way. You don't have to do this when you play, but I'm just getting out of the way for you to see. What we're going to do the C chord, you'll put your pointer finger on the C, and then you're going to take these 2 fingers and then just shift down a string. And when you do the C chord, you will not play the low sounding E string because it makes it sound a little bit muddy when you do that. So that's your C chord. And then we'll finish with the D7 chord, which we have already played. And on the D7 chord, we'll do these 4 strings from the D string, G string, B string, E string, and you do those 4 together. Now, to practice these chords and get comfortable going from chord to chord, what I suggest that you do is you'll do 4 strokes on each chord, and then you'll put 4 counts of rest in between each. So if this is our tempo, we'll do 4 on the G, G, 2, 3, 4, 4 count switch, ready, G7, 2, 3, 4, 4 count switch to the C, and don't use the bottom string, 1, 2, 3, 4, count switch, D7 and go. 2, 3, 4 count switch, back to G and go. And you can repeat through that, put a 4 count switch in between each segment. Then when you're comfortable with that, you'll still do your 4 strokes, and then you can do a 3 count switch. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, switch, ready, G7, 1, 2, 3, 4, switch to C, 1, 2, 3, 4, switch, D7, 2, 3. Then you can do a 2 count switch, you can do a 1 count switch, and then eventually when you get to test time, you're going to do it without any space from chord to chord. So we'll go over that right now. I'm just being considerate of your time. 4 on each. 2, ready, here we go. G, 2, 3, switch, G7, 2, 3, switch to C, C, 2, 3, D7. Then we'll do that one more time, back to G, 2, 3, switch, G7, 2, 3, switch to C, 2, switch to D7, and then finish the whole thing with G. Now you'll notice as I was playing through all those chords, my thumb pretty much stayed right here, 2nd fret. In doing that, you're not going to travel around and, have your hand do weird stuff. So those are the Candy Crush 2.0 chords. The next selection is called Hey Ho, Nobody Home. It's an old sea shanty. And we already did this one in the upper octave. So now what we're going to do is take the exact same melody and we're going to play it down on these low strings, just the lowest sounding 3 strings. Starts with your low A. So we'll go A, G, A, open E, and then A, B, B, C, 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 C. Next string, 2nd fret, E, D, C, B, A, G, A. So again, since you've already gone over that in the high octave, I just called out the note names. You can practice doing the melody in those low 3 strings. Pretty simple. And then the last thing we're going to play is the Itsy Bitsy Spider. We're doing this one because it utilizes the middle part of the guitar, which I find is a place where a lot of people mess up because it's difficult to pluck the correct string when we're in the middle rather than feeling notes at the bottom or top of the guitar. So this really has 2 parts if you think about it. The rhythm is different in each section, but that's not as important as the notes at this point when you're playing. So part 1 has some kind of a variation of G, 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 A, B. So that shows up 3 times in the song in 3 different sections. Sometimes you have what I just did a second ago where you take a pickup note going into it, D, G, or D, D, G, and then you would play, that melody I just did a second ago. The second part of Itsy Bitsy Spider is all on the B string. So if you can start by covering those 2 parts and then just listen to the melody and get the pickup note when you need it, it'll be really easy for you to work through this. So let's go through the first section. Just like you sing as a kid, the Itsy Bitsy Spider, there's a pickup note. So you'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it starts. All right, so I'll do this first section. So it goes from the D to the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what I'm calling part 1. So once again, that's D, G, 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 A, B, B, A, B, A, B. I said the wrong note names there, sorry about that. It's G, A, G, A, G, A, B, G. Okay? Now, part 2 is what I demoed earlier. It's all on the B string. B, B, C, D, D, C, B, C, D, B. Then we go back to that part 1 melody, back on G, no pickup here. G, G, A, B, B, A, G, A, B, G. Then we finish the song with a pickup note. We'll do it twice, like and the Itsy. D, D, G. So that melody at the end is pretty much identical to what the melody is at the beginning. You just have 2 pickup notes instead of 1 pickup note like the beginning of the song. So I'll play all the way through now so you can hear it and you can practice with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll try that again. 2, 3, 4. Song. That concludes phase 4. Good luck and take care.